Yes! Red lightsabers and the Sith have returned to the Star Wars universe. Yeah.
Don't break it.
Oh,
It's already
yeah.
barely running.
Oh my God, guys. Star Wars Visions. I was hoping that it would be good, and it is fucking fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is the kind of stuff I like to see. I like to see Disney taking risks. I like to see Disney expanding the universe, expanding the lore. Doesn't always have to be at the Skywalkers. You can be powerful with the Force anywhere in the galaxy, whether these are fucking reimaginings, retellings, or completely new stories that are in canon. I don't exactly know the answer to that in every single individual one, but I am so happy that this exists. And this is the kind of Star Wars content that I want to see if we're getting, tons and tons of Star Wars content from Disney. They want to milk that license like a motherfucker, right? But if you're going to do it, this is how you do it. You just so. There are 9 stories, separate animations from from 6 different Japanese animation studios. We decided to separate this because we want to give ample attention to each one. We're going to separate it into 2 segments, maybe 2 videos, but 2 segments at the very least. And so on this segment, we will be covering the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the first 5. Wow. And then we'll give an individual rating to each one, talk about each one. But let's just talk in general about the Star Wars Visions ideas so far. How do you guys feel? I just told you how I felt. How do you guys feel about Star Wars Visions?
I think it's pretty good. Like you said, taking a lot of risk. I like a couple of these, but some of these I hate.
What?
Yeah. Well, one in particular is like super low.
I can see.
So
one,
far, that's
maybe.
my lowest score.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, this one reminds me a lot of, like Love, Death, Robots, where some of them are just absolutely killer, and some of them you'll forget and never watch again. I love that they're doing cool things with this. We get to see different artistic styles. We get to see cool Force powers used in different ways.
Yeah.
So, like, bring on more of this concept, even if, some of them don't resonate with me. If this thing got multiple seasons, multiple instances, I'd be on board all the way.
Yeah. Some of them evoke a feeling of My Hero Academia. Some of them are like the 70s, like Voltron kind of with the music and stuff. And some are, like the really cool fucking samurai ones. Well, okay. So we love it. I love it. I love the concept. I just... Based on these first 5, if I were to give a mid-season score, which I don't even know what we're doing here, but, it's breaking into 2 videos, like 9 out of 10 so far. So there's 4 episodes left. I can't wait to watch them. We got to break them up because we got to go. But it's so awesome so far. So let's jump in. So that's our thoughts on Star Wars Visions. Go out and see it. This is really good for the Star Wars license. Some are better than others, according to these guys, and according to me as well. And I just hope to see more. Okay, so we're going to jump into the individual episodes. If you haven't seen all the individual episodes, you can skip. But let's talk about them. So, episode 1, The Duel.
Yes. Loved it.
Did not expect them to start with that one. That one I thought was going to be a real good one. And
it was.
Oh, it was. 2 red lightsabers come out at the climactic battle. I'm like, holy shit, is this Sith on Sith? Well, it turns out it's a little deeper than that. It is a loner comes to town, and it kind of evokes... And then the Empire comes to collect taxes. You got a poor town. It kind of evokes 7 Samurai and some of these
Western
samurais that we've seen. Samurai films that we've seen. And essentially, Empire shows up, and let me start by saying, do Japanese, okay?
Sounds way better.
Do not be doing the dubbed English voices. Some of them in some of these shorts are good. Some of them are bad. But the Japanese voice acting so far throughout all of these has been really good. It doesn't matter if the story itself sucks. At least in my opinion, they're very, very good. So always use the Japanese ones. Then rewatch it. Actually, what we've been doing is kind of watching them with the English and then watching them with the Japanese. So definitely do Japanese. Anyways, so I love how... clearly in the Star Wars universe, nobody acts like the Japanese animes do. Where you have the overzealous, sniveling bad guy that's like, yeah, give us some money, that initial Empire dude that comes and is like, pay money. But the town sort of, who's the town leader?
You can't stop us.
Right. And he's not the real villain. He's just like the lackey. The town has an elder. Well, it's not an elder. He's the chief, but he's a little kid. And it's like, we have nothing. You guys have basically taken everything. And then just out of nowhere we get, and I like how the visual style, let's talk about the visual style. Did you like the visual style?
Yeah. Yeah, very much. I really like the contrast. It's not all like hand drawn. There's a lot of, you can tell that there's like CG in there, but it looks good.
Yeah, the individual lights kind of making, even though it's very, very Japanese and from that Edo period or the Japanese feudal period, there's still the Star Wars-ness, little individual tech. And then all of a sudden, yellow lasers start coming out of nowhere. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. The guy that I've seen has a droid. He has some swords. What's going on here? Apparently, the town was already prepared to defend themselves.
They hired some people.
They hired some mercenaries. So who is in there? We have a guy that... we got a Sabek. I don't know if that's their race, but the lizard-looking guy. You've got various mercenaries, kind of the fat, elephant-looking kind. Not the elephant one, but just like a beast-looking one. And then you've got kind of like this huge sort of hat with like droid with multiple, guns.
Yeah, it's like a probe droid or something.
Reprogrammed probe droid, something like that. It's just awesome designs, interesting, creative designs. And I'm like, well, I didn't even expect this. I was just thinking it's going to be the Jedi and the Sith. So, they're fighting. And they're kind of kicking ass. They're winning, especially the insectoid droid that comes out with the Gatling gun. Fucking awesome. And, of course, all the laser blasts and the sabers in this are colored, while everything else is black and white. Well, eventually, the Empire has had enough, and up comes the main bad guy. And it is a female Sith. This is something I've been wanting to see for a very long time in something official Star Wars. And I got it here. And she fucking starts out really, really well because she's got a unique creative... Yes, it's ridiculous. But, come on. It's Star Wars. And so it's an umbrella saber, and it counters perfectly the Gatling gun, right? So it's like... I don't know why she does it, but she immediately takes it off, right, when the Ronin comes. But first, she's mopping up, basically, with all the mercenaries protecting the town. And I just got to say, the music, where it's like... it's that Japanese style, and I know I've seen it and I've heard that music in other very famous Japanese animes. I just can't remember specific ones. Is it Akira or is it that ethereal voice? That. Anyways, it's in a few really good ones. Name the ones that it might be in, but it's just amazing battle. So eventually the Ronin comes, and his droid had been damaged. And when he hears all the commotion, he's talking with this one, I guess a repair smith, and he's like, you repair this droid by the time the water boils. And and he's like, okay. And I'm like, motherfucker, better do that because I want to see something cool. And so he's hearing, so he goes over there, and confronts this Sith, and it is so cool. Just the idea of a samurai sword lightsaber, I'm into completely. But when he reveals it's fucking red, everybody's like, oh, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
like
this is not a good versus evil.
that's not what I thought.
Yeah.
That's like not what I expected, and I was hoping. And they kept that. I guess they kept it out of all the promo stuff. So that was a great reveal. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work out that way. Maybe it's up to interpretation, but we'll see. So they fight. Obviously, first thing she does is she takes off the umbrella thing. I kind of wanted to see that little bit of fighting, but maybe it's not. It's just for anti-gun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she goes at it, or maybe she's just so fucking confident. She's like, I'm gonna beat this fucking guy's ass because he thinks he's awesome. The overhead strike, boom, he blocks it, and she's like, what the hell?
Well, she doesn't know that he's not. She thinks he's a Jedi because he blocks it with the Force in his hands.
How can I
And she's
forget
like,
that?
oh, you're a Jedi, and then he pulls out the sword and is like, oh shit,
Oh shit!
this is the stuff's about to
I'm
go
in
down.
trouble.
Yeah.
Something's about to go down. So they have this great duel on a log and this waterfall, and eventually the water boils, and the whole town can hear, and even the Empire's like, what the fuck is that? And you can, I don't know, you can hear it all the way from the waterfall over the waterfall.
It's a good
but-
kettle, man.
That's a great kettle.
It'd be fucking annoying. Get that shit off the stove.
Well, so the droid, at that time, he hits the button. The droid's repaired. Droid flies over like R2-D2, but this one's way faster and fires a bunch of missiles because, like, damn, man, R2-D2 needs some of them upgrades.
Yeah, what was that thing called for the Mandalorian thing?
Whistling, something.
noisy cricket.
Noisy cricket.
Yeah, I was like, this Men in Black.
Right.
But yeah, he basically has that. It just
Yeah.
targets all the
It
fucking...
takes out all of the baddies.
Fucking awesome. And so kind of saves the village because they were holding the village hostage. So she's like, are you crazy? You know, I'm going to kill these villagers if you keep
not
fighting me. Do you not care about them? And you know, but he has a plan. Gets rid of all the Empire there. Now it's just him and her. And but she manages to sort of take advantage of that and just go full force. Slams into him and knocks him off the waterfall. But I contest that was probably his plan the whole time, because he ends up behind the waterfall, and she's like, I see your saber. This is ridiculous. So she uses her force powers to move the log to kind of split the waterfall so that she can then fucking go at him and charge. But it turns out just fucking tricks her with a great maneuver, and it puts the Sith lightsaber in a statue. And and he fucking cuts her and kills her. Surprise, bitch! And I forgot to say, she takes off her helmet and she's got like the afro. She's got like a triangle
Crazy
head or
hair.
some crazy hair. It was really cool. I love the character designs in this and everything. And then basically, that's it. And then, you know, he's collecting her Sith cyber crystal, and we see when he opens up his thing that he's got a lot of Sith cyber
hunter.
crystals. So he's either a Sith hunter or he's a Sith himself. No, he's a Sith hunter, and he just maybe uses that to throw them off guard or something.
Is that his temple or whatever?
And that's what I was wondering. I was like, is this his home?
Is this where he trains?
Is this, something's going on. I like a little bit of mystery,
Yeah.
you know? Leave a little bit of the lore to explore later if there's ever a season 2 or if they want to expand any one of these series. But yeah, as he's going away, he gives one of the kyber crystals to that little kid, Chief, and he says, this will keep evil spirits away. And I was like, wouldn't that attract evil spirits? Because
they want the crystal.
isn't the official canon is like you bleed those now, and they're like, you know, evil. I don't know.
This is different.
Yeah, I don't. Fuck that. That's not the rule.
The bleeding.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Well, anyways, I loved it, and so let's go to final verdict.
11.
11 out of 10.
This
I
one
was
was
gonna say
so
Yeah.
good.
So
good.
I love, like, not everything needs to be explained. I think the art style was really cool. The music was cool. Like, the only thing that I'm going to nitpick is it could have been an hour and a half long, and I would have watched
Every
you know,
bit of it.
like every
Ninja
little
scroll.
bit of it. So it's like, yeah, more of this, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 10. Like, I don't know if I wanted like an hour because they would probably would have padded with something, would kind of would have
Yeah.
dipped down. But this is like a great animation, and they use the colors and everything like amazing.
Yeah.
Like it was really
Music,
impactful,
yeah.
and the music was great. And I just loved everything about that. Their unique umbrella. I was like, oh, if this is Visions, I want more of this.
Yeah.
Well, and Easter eggs.
Be creative.
Yeah, it's just like there's so many Easter eggs throughout all of Star Wars and just little side characters. You're just like, oh, is that who? Oh, look, that looks like that. That looks like that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Great one to start with. 10 out of
Yes.
10 from me as well. Wabam. Epic seal of approval. Badass seal of approval. Really, really great. So, moving on, right along here. Episode 2, Tatooine. That one was called The Duel, by the way. This one is called Tatooine Rhapsody, and it's quite different in animation style. This one is the one that's more like a kind of a My Hero Academia kind of thing. You got like big eyes and big simple drawn mouths and just like full of energy and I don't know what to call it. It feels like it's for kids because all of the characters are
small.
kind of drawn in chibi or kid-like style, but yet it's not necessarily for kids. It has some good story to it. And this one I really liked. It charmed me. It's about a kind of a Star Wars band. So far, we've only seen, like one Star Wars
There's
band.
only one Star
There's
Wars
only
band. It's Max Rebo and the Modal Nodes,
I knew you were
motherfucker.
coming in
And Max
with that.
Rebo was not in this.
Yes.
The Modal Nodes were here,
Yeah.
but Max Rebo was not president.
Motherfucker, you cost too much, all right? But anyways, so we're kind of tricked a little bit. I like the interesting storytelling here because we're following a Padawan or something. He ends up he looks like he's running from something, and then he falls into a cavern, and he looks up, and then all of a sudden you're in a band area and they're starting to play music. And you realize, wait, were they talking to me or what's going on here? But you figure that out later. And you see a hut. Probably the most nimble and agile hut I've ever seen. It was doing more maneuvering, this little slug, than any other hut I've ever seen. And that's the benefit of animation and letting other people use the license. So one of the band members is this hut. And then there's a few other band members. There's like a droid and then the kid himself it looks like he's in the band. It's like, what's going on here?
There was like a 3-torso creature thing.
On the drums.
Oh yeah,
yes.
there was like a
drummer.
3-headed guy. Yeah, exactly. And then they had a little robot, doing a little dancing, and then they start playing a song, and the song's, it's not for me, the song wasn't necessarily like, wow, that's a fucking all right, hell yeah. The first one they play, right? But then Boba Fett comes and ruins everything. So you got these bounty hunters, walking through the crowd and kind of, shoots at them and is like, all right, and specifically for the hut guy. And he's like, yeah, come with me. You know what this is about. He's like, no, I don't want to. So it's like he's got some connection with, Jabba the Hutt. But they escape, and they manage to get on their little ship and take off. But I was like, that's way too easy for Bo. You're gonna do Boba dirty like that?
Yeah, and Friendship 1 catches up with you immediately. Or Forced Friendship 1, because we're not allowed to call it what it's supposed to be called right now.
Yeah, and then that's when we kind of see that it kind of goes back and forth between two points in time. Yeah. When he was younger and he crashed into that area was actually when he met the Hutt guy, the little slug dude, and they kind of form a friendship and do a band together. Whether he has time to do that or should he go back to his master or who is he? We don't know. That's all in the past. And they create a band, and now they're in a band, but they're escaping. Boba Fett shoots him down because he shows up. He's not going to let him. And instead of like fucking murdering everybody, which I expected, he just kind of captures the hut. So I'm like, yeah, there's something going on here. And it was because he's doing a job for Jabba, and Jabba wants, to see him, I guess, before he's murdered. And you get that hopeful, it's like he is sad that his friend was captured, but yet he's like, we got to do something. We got to go after him, and he's frustrated because he wants to defend him, but his lightsaber's like, broken, or it's like doesn't work well, or he doesn't know how to use it, and but then it flashes forward a little bit, or it just goes to the next scene, and they're suddenly at I guess like a pod racing
Yeah.
kind of area, but it's for the band.
Racetrack.
And Jabba has allowed them one last song or something
Yep.
before he's executed.
Yep.
Did I get that right? But I was thinking that maybe he would be like Jabba's, cousin or nephew or something like that. And he's like, "Don't be in the band. You got to be a criminal empire with me."
Why
But
would you kill
no,
him,
he's
though?
just fucking gonna kill him apparently. So they get to They play one last song before they're executed. And the kid shows up and he's got his lightsaber, and the guards are like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Hey, relax. It's a lightsaber mic." And I was like, "It's just a It's just a mic." And I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool. It's like a light. So what's gonna happen? Is he gonna, and
Yeah.
rescue the hut?" But no. Instead, we get a song, and it is not a good song. In English, it is not a good song. We stopped it immediately, switched to Japanese, and it was better in Japanese.
The lyrics are terrible.
Well,
It sounded cool, but
that's a lot of those kinds of songs in animes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
liked
yeah.
it. It was not as bad as it was in English. It's better in Japanese. So they play the song. It's catchy, and again, you see the little young Hut, teenage punk moving around like a crazy guy, and I'm like, I've never seen a Hut move this way. And even Jabba is tapping his tail to the music.
Where was Salacious Crumb?
Shit. Was he there?
No.
I didn't see. Oh, maybe this is before he got Salacious Crumb. I don't know.
It's a little
but
creature that giggles.
he will, and then they finish the song and they're like, "We're gonna be the greatest band ever," and I'm like, "How fucking dare you?" You know who the greatest band ever is.
They were in they showed them. The modal nodes are sitting there with the little fucking clarinets watching on a TV, which, okay.
A little cameo. Got it. The other Star Wars band. They're the greatest one. But he says, "We're going to be the greatest and
be our
you
sponsor.
Be our sponsor." And then here comes a hover ship. They're going to execute them. But Jabba gives a signal, and they fire in the air instead of killing them.
Yeah, because the crowd starts chanting, "One more song, one more song."
Right. And so then they play. They're even Boba is nodding his head. I'm like, well, I don't know if Boba would do that, but okay, fine. We're all having a good time here. We're playing with the Star Wars license, and we're doing cool shit. But I will say, and then it ends. That's it. It's just a little simple thing where you ban. Whatever happened to this guy? Did he go on? Did he get murdered in Order 66? Probably. Or is he somewhere out in the galaxy now with his lightsaber mic doing his best to block shots with just a little ball on his lightsaber? He's got to do all this extra work. I don't know. But I wished for a little escape. I wanted that escape scene with he tricked him, his lightsaber, and he goes after it. But you could clearly tell he was untrained. He wasn't going to do any kind of crazy maneuver. So I liked it. Let's go to final verdicts.
No, I did not like this one at all.
This is the one you were talking
this is
about,
the one
that you hated?
I hated this one. This
Shit.
one was not for me.
Hated?
Yeah, this is not for
Damn,
me.
y'all you're such a grouch.
No, I liked everything else. This,
Okay.
I'm gonna give this a 3. This one is not for me. I didn't like.
Holy fucking shit!
It had nothing to do.
A 3?
It really had nothing to do with Star Wars.
Yes, it did.
A band wants to play a song. It's like, oh, we never get to play a full song. They finally
But
play a
this
full
is how
song.
you expand the Star Wars universe. It's like, what would happen if Max Rebo, how did the Max Rebo, we're
Yeah, I'd rather
expanding
see
the
that,
lore.
but not this.
Bullshit, you'd rather see Max Rebo.
I
This
would.
is another band that got
No,
together.
I didn't like this one.
All right.
I didn't like it.
Go
It
ahead.
wasn't for
Go
me.
ahead.
Yeah, 3.
Okay. Alex.
Yeah, this is totally and thoroughly not for me. If you had shown me the duel and then you like, oh, by the way, this next one's 20 minutes of like Max Rebo filing his taxes. I don't give a fuck that Max Rebo's in there. I just don't give a shit. They didn't do
Wow.
it. So I there was nothing in here for me. I didn't even like the
No.
song.
Didn't like the song. Didn't like.
I've seen a lot of
story.
anime, and the song sounds like a lot of the songs in
Yeah.
anime, so it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
right.
going to judge it too harshly for the song. It's just I can't think of anything in here that I would be like, all right, skip number
fine.
2.
Yeah.
It's fun, great animation. Anyway, what'd you give it?
4.
Wow. That makes me look foolish. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because I
if
fucking
that's-
liked
if
it.
you like it,
I
it's fine.
liked it. Well, all right. Well, then there we differ. I gave it a 7 because, and I wish there was that escape scene so we can get a little more action tied into the Star Wars universe. But I said, you know what? It's a slice of life. It's a slice of Star Wars life. It's a little story about how this band got together, and there's cameos from characters we know. Anyways, moving on. Episode 3, The Twins. This one, the first thing we get to see is this reveal of the super dumb double Star Destroyer.
The Gemini
It
class.
is a double Star Destroyer. Don't
It's
call it the Gemini
super
class.
They call it the
powerful.
Gemini class.
Don't call it the Gemini class. It is the dumb double Star Destroyer class.
It should have been double decker, like where
Double
there's-
decker.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would make more sense. 'Cause, like, if
Well-
you're like, if there's something in the middle, you're like, oh shit.
Anyways, we no talking, just good music, and we get a Darth Vader-like person. But wait a minute, doesn't the design is different? The design looks different on the troopers as well. The design's different everywhere, kind of. And so this is like a reinterpretation. And the next scene, so you get this guy walking through all these troopers, and then he goes to this crystal, and then he like fucking does something with it, and you're not really sure. It goes to the next scene. And it's a different mask. I'm like, wait a minute. He's got 2 masks? I don't understand. Why did you just change the mask? No, it's his sister. And she's kind of like, monologuing. We are these twins created through the power of the dark side. And me and my brother, we're fucking
destroy this
awesome.
planet.
We're going to fucking combine all our powers and fucking blow up planets with our energy and the crystal in our dark armor, and they both like have dark armors or whatever. And so that Gemini class, I guess, combined with them and the crystal, is a prototype weapon that is a Star Destroyer or a Death Star, kind of.
Stars. Multiples.
Stars, yes. But then we go to the brother character, and he's referring to his R2 unit as our duo, which was cool. And his name is Kari. And he steals the power core because they're like getting ready to power it up, and he's like, and she's like, "What the hell?" She looks over at the other bridge because you can see the 2 bridges, and he's fucking around. He's not in the
Empty
chair, and he's like, "Oh shit! Everybody go get him!" They corner him. Well, at first he like walks through him, and they're like kind of scared to like shoot him, and then they shoot him with the stun guns.
So they do use it. See?
Joe recommends stormtroopers use
Yes.
these bigger loops to
So
actually
hard to
hit
miss.
something.
Exactly.
But don't shoot it at people that have motherfucking force powers, because he just holds it in the air, throws it back and throws him against the wall, and manages to escape in his X-wing. And they keep calling.
That should have been your first clue that he wasn't truly a bad guy.
Right. His X-wing and his fucking.
I was like, what is this doing here?
Well, they call it the Republic that they're going to destroy instead of the Rebellion, so it's in a different universe kind of thing. Anyways, he escapes in an X-wing, but his sister Force holds the X-wing. She actually brings the X-wing back, which is fucking sweet. Cool little scene there. I do want to mention they're breathing in space. I guess you can do that, right? Because Princess Leia did the thing.
Well, this was
Mary-
this was heavily inspired
Mary
by
Poppins.
Ryan Johnson. Like, there's a lot of the whole closing scene is directly ripped from that movie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
exactly.
they definitely watched that movie and were like, ideas. Let's
Yeah. So they can breathe outside. They're
the
poking
robot-
fun. They're poking fun.
But the robot had a mask.
I know
the
that.
robot had a
the robot
fishbowl.
later on
Fishbowl.
Had a
Has
fishbowl on it.
fishbowl.
Yeah, no, it
helmet.
doesn't.
So everybody can breathe in space except for droids.
They're
it's the
Jedis.
reverse.
It's fine.
It's a
They're
different
Jedis.
universe.
Yeah.
Anyways, but it gave me feelings of like the 70s, 80s kind of Voltron. This is the one that we thought, that I was questioning the animation style, but ultimately I liked it. It was something different. Anyways, they commune after they try to grab this crystal. Hey, don't give me the fucking crystal. And like it kind of breaks and puts them into this mode where they can talk to each other. And he's like, don't use the power of the crystals. It's corrupting you. And she's like, I don't
kill
care. And she kind of combines with the crystal and gets her fucking dark armor. And now she's got the six sabers,
Lightsabers.
but they're not sabers. They're like whips. But then later on, they're sabers. I don't know. Just shit is going crazy, and then the animation styles get real long, and it's fucking stylistic. And honestly, this one was a little bit on the melodramatic side. You get that kind of melodrama, you know, that you got in some of the older animes. Yeah,
Nani, the fuck is happening here?
Oh, save my sister and all this stuff. Anyways, I can't remember her name. Am. I think it's Am. It's just a weird name.
Yeah.
So it's like Am. And so he decides she's all super powerful and she's about to overload. He's like, she can't handle it. We have to stop her. How do they stop her? Alex,
In the
do you want to be
dumbest-
the awesome,
the dumbest way
the way
possible.
to describe what
He
they do?
stands on the front of an X-wing, and our duo says, "What we can do, we can use the hyperdrive."
Well, first he's like, you know, that anime doubt. It's like, I don't know what to do. What do I do?
Yeah, and
I don't know if I have the power to do what
And
I
then
need to do.
his droid's like, "You do. We're gonna do the thing where we turn on the hyperdrive, and you're gonna stand in the front, and you're gonna hold out your lightsaber, and we're gonna joust this bitch
We're
to
gonna go
death."
really
which
fast.
is not how hyperspace in Star Wars universe
Hey,
works at all. But
they're
again,
being creative.
Ryan Johnson
Johnson
did it, and if
Ryan
Ryan Johnson
Johnson
can ruin Star Wars, then this
Then
can
these
ignore all
guys
that
can
shit
ruin
too.
Star Wars.
And so they go to hyperspeed and they lance the thing out of her chest while kind of cutting the ship in half.
I don't know how it does this. Let me just say he hits
He's got the tip.
he hits her with a fucking lightsaber hyperspace jump mega attack.
Yeah.
Where the lightsaber transforms
Brushes.
into multicolors and then elongates into a massive saber that is long enough to cut the Star Destroyer in half, but then somehow retract and only cut her clothes off, and then her gem is destroyed, and then I guess it cuts her chin or whatever, or maybe it misses her
No,
chin.
it misses her entirely.
And then she's like, and she falls back, and I'm like, oh, this is the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen. And then it does that shot that Ryan Johnson does, you know, with the
Cool shot.
fucking jump past it.
Super cool shot, dumb as fuck, but
Dumb.
really cool. Looked beautiful. It's absolutely stupid.
So stupid. Her robot with the helmet catches her. And the X-Wing crash lands. We don't really see what happens to her, but we do see the X-Wing kind of crash landing in this planet. You hear Jawa's around.
Tatooine, probably, yeah.
And, you know, and he's like pensive. You know, he's just thinking, and he's like, why were we created? He's just thinking, why were we created? I'm going to seek her out. This is not, you know, the end. And yes, there will be more to the story, except they probably won't. But, it, you know, it gives the feeling like it will continue. So,
Go ahead.
Oh, final?
Yeah.
This was the one that I was that we've seen that we're talking about so far that I was most worried about the art style. Even watching it, I don't like the art style, but I got over it pretty quick. This is the kind of crazy anime shit that I thought was going to happen, and I bought in, and I don't regret buying into it. Right? Like it is dumb, but it kind of worked, and they did crazy things with the force powers.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like this one.
Yeah.
I still think that if they'd given it to a different studio, same story but different studio, different art style, I think it could have gotten a higher score from me. But I'm going to go either 6 or 7. I don't know which.
Joe.
I was gonna go with the 6. I did like at the beginning was kind of boring for me, but then like the end kind of got crazy with the
Yeah.
fucking lightsaber wrapping around his
The
lightsaber.
lightsaber hyper jump
And
mega
then,
attack.
just like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, this is a fucking crazy, but that's what I was just kind of expecting. And it's like, all right, I see your vision.
Kind of
It's
cut out
kind
a lot of the cool parts of Star Wars, and it just made it
Yeah.
about the two twins.
So 6 for me.
Okay, Alex.
Sure, 6. 6
Sit
does
it
it.
down.
Above average.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it, and it was stupid, but the good kind of stupid. All right, episode 4, The Village Bride. This one was a more serious take.
Yeah.
I really like this one.
Same.
This one, great music. Little funny helmets, you know. That kind of reminds me of like what is it? Naruto. I can't pronounce it. And fucking, you know, Demon Slayer a little bit with the training. It's like, who are these people? They're Jedis, and they're there on a planet kind of looking at a culture, doing their traditions. He doesn't want his bride's feet to get dirty as they go up to the mountain and connect with the land. And they've got maybe some connection to the Force or some kind of energy field when they touch a rock together and they're now one, and it's beautiful. And it's just really well done and showing their traditions. But we have this backstory that this planet was under separatist control, but once the separatist army was destroyed in the Star Wars canon, these droids fell into the hands of a new army. Just fucking assholes, and the way this tribe sort of keeps the peace with this fucking warmonger is to give up their chiefs.
Yeah, it's like collateral. They give them collateral, so like important members of the village every year or something have to get.
And
given up.
I guess the old chief's getting old, and they need a new chief replacement, and they choose the bride. Now, this I didn't really understand, or maybe I missed it. Was the husband going with the wife? Would they have allowed that? Would they have fucking killed him off? Or I guess they would just go with the wife and live a shitty life.
Killed him.
Yeah, they
probably
killed
killed
both of them.
But anyways, that's how the tribe keeps the peace. And, it's the villagers are not cool with it. You have his sister, her sister in particular, that's like, why is everybody acting like this? Like, this is a tradition. We have to do that. I'm tired of this shit. We got to fight. I'm willing to fight. And she takes a few of her friends and she marches off. And her, the sister that is the bride is like, oh, sister, because she cares about me, but she can't really do anything about it. And meanwhile, you have these two, who I initially thought were both Jedis, but one of them is like probably a mercenary or bounty hunter or something, and the other one is a Jedi. And I just gotta say, this one had emotion to it. It really, told the story well enough to where I got invested. Anyway, so as soon as the guy shows up, he's kind of in a sort of Millennium Falcon looking ship. Maybe it was the
aluminum Falcon.
Well, was it the one from Shadows of the Empire? I don't know. But anyways, so they come out. They got a bunch of robots, and he's like, we have to keep the peace this way. And let me apologize ahead of time for being overly cautious. And he signals, and it turns out that he's captured his sister, and she's got a fucking detonator on it. And he's like, why would you guys do this? Now, I'm gonna kill her. Because she's clearly the leader. So he fires a fucking bolt at her head, and just then it stops. We know it stops. It clearly stops. And during a lot of this storytelling between the bounty hunter and the Jedi, you see that, her starting to be invested in these people and wanting to maybe come to their defense. I wasn't sure, but maybe the village is her old master's village. I think I heard
there was a
like
line that it's like Mike. He's like, someone has a strong connection to this world. She says something like, my master.
Those were his traditions, and then he went off planet, became a Jedi, and became her master anyway. Maybe he passed away, and they're visiting, and so she's emotionally invested. She stops the fucking bolt, obviously throws the bolt back into his gun. He's like, oh, Danny, and then the fucking fighting starts. And you have the bounty hunter, firing off a few shots, but he quickly runs out of ammo. I'm like, what? Wait, you only have 3 laser shots? It's a laser.
In this economy, man, you can't afford more than that.
Exactly.
All right, fine. But he does this cool ass thing when he takes his helmet off.
1 in a million shot.
Fucking
No,
throws
it was
his
planned
helmet.
from the beginning.
No, he's a
There's
badass,
no
Joe.
way.
You know he's a badass.
There's no fucking
Come
way.
on. It's programmable, Joe. So he throws the fucking helmet. The helmet falls, and then it flies into the fucking ship, which
Straight into the ramp.
blows. It was planned. And it blows the whole ship up, which actually was a control ship, and all the droids fucking fall down. And then she reveals her fucking the second time we've seen a fucking yellow lightsaber, yellow gold kind of thing. And I like that it had
It's the first
Look at
good
the
time,
samurai.
though.
fucking what?
Nothing.
The first good time,
Yeah.
right? Yes. It really is, actually, unfortunately. And this one actually gets used because, and there was one cool little shot where I'm like, oh, man, I'm not a girl and I'm not into heels and anything, but that fucking shit was awesome, man.
It's always so stupid where they're like, we're going to put this woman
High
in like real
heels.
high heels in this
Right.
fight. And it's like,
Why?
I guess if they're...
But this one has function, Alex.
I know.
It clicks forward, and it's like, I think it gives her super speed on top of her Jedi super speed. So it's like,
rocket-powered laser heels.
yeah, and I think my girlfriend would totally be into that. And anyway, so she kills the fucking asshole leader, and it was just so sweet. And yeah, So she
Don't-
saves everybody, and I fucking love that one. So that one for me was like a fucking 9. Okay, yeah, you go first.
For me, it's gonna be a 9. I really like. I've always wondered, like, what happens to all the scraps and the
Yeah.
army that's left behind. And
I
then
wondered that
here,
too.
you get to see it. It's like, all right, well, fucking evil people using it to take this village over or whatnot. And then some cool shots. And I like the way they use this, her lightsaber whenever, like, and her jets, I guess she's using it. She's like, don't move, I got your sister hostage. Next scene, his arm, I was like, damn, she's fucking fast.
Yeah.
Nine
It's
for
that
me.
Jedi speed that they use at the beginning of the Phantom Menace combined with jet boots. That shit would. I mean, she can close.
I
that
just
distance.
wanted her to like say nothing personal, just because that's practically what she does. She teleports
Yeah.
behind him and cuts him in half. This one was great. It's a definitely more slow burn. So if you expect, it's not like the duel. The duel like immediately gets things going
Right,
and
there's
goes
no
right away.
like massive lightsaber fighting.
No, this is more like it's exploring the world, and this is like world building within the Star Wars
Yes, and I
universe.
like
This is
that.
this. I really like this one.
Yeah.
All the way through. I'm gonna give this one also a 10. It's a little weird. People may be upset that they don't get like specific answers about like who is this, why are they here, what are they doing. But I just think this is the type of world building, on the ground world building that I want for Star Wars, and this was really cool.
Yeah, Masked Woman. I'm between a 9 and a 10, and then after talking it out and just the fact that it gets me invested in less than 20 minutes because I was
Yeah.
feeling a little bit of the emotion. It might have been the music and the style and the fact that like she has a connection to this place and she slowly becomes the defender. Where Ryan Johnson would have fucked it up with this third lesson that never got taught to Rey. Right? He was like, no, because he was showing her, the deleted scenes. You heard about that?
Yeah,
The
he just
deleted
hates
scenes.
Star Wars.
Okay.
and
Well,
so-
anyway, this is done much better. So I'm gonna go 10 out of 10. So. Episode 5, the final episode, the Ninth Jedi, correct? Which I didn't. You're gonna have to explain who the 9 Jedi are for me, but by the end. But we'll get there. So there are a bunch of Jedi summoned. 7 Jedi, I believe, are summoned by a mysterious person. They have an intro saying there's been a war in the galaxy and lightsaber tech is kind of falling
gone.
lost.
Like no one knows where any lightsabers are.
And people still have connections to the Force, or war's going. And I'm not really, this one is so cool because it's like, is this the far future? A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
No, this is like a couple years ago.
This is in the far future in a galaxy
Yeah.
far, far away. And you get hints of that at the end. We'll talk about. But anyway, these people show up to this cool fucking rock, and it kind of seems to be harvesting kyber crystals or something. And they arrive there, and they've all got messages. One guy comes in particular has got a message that all the Jedi are assembling here. Everybody who, come to this location, I want to reestablish the Jedi Order. I have lightsabers. I want to end the war and, come over
Sounds
here.
pretty
But,
fishy.
yeah, his armor looks all fucking red eyes and black and gold. I'm like,
He's
oh,
like, I don't
shit.
trust this
I don't
guy.
trust this guy, right? And some of the other people are like, yeah, what's going on here? Did you summon us? No, and they're each kind of telling their own story of what's going on. But so this Margrave person is the person that summoned them, and you've got this robot that shows up. He's fucking huge and menacing. Again, more like something's up here. But then all of a sudden we go, I don't know, in the past or the present. You don't really quite know yet. And it's kind of told. Okay. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Had to take care of something. Restarting. So you didn't know if it was told in the past or the present, but we get a scene of this sabersmith who's making a bunch of sabers, kind of bundling them together, and his daughter coming in, and he sort of gives her these sabers to take care of and deliver them to his client. And you see the ship coming, and it does not look like a Jedi ship. So this, they're not there for the sabers. You've got these 2 bounty hunters show up, and
With
he's like,
red eyes.
yeah,
Like,
red eyes
yeah.
again. So you're like, ah, fuck. And he tells his daughter to take them, go out the back, and bring them to Margrave, or
Get to the temple.
Get to
The
the
temple.
temple, rather. And so these or the bounty hunters come in, and they're obviously, bad guys. Are like, oh, we heard that you're the one that makes the sabers. You can't do that, and you're under arrest or whatever, or we're gonna take you in. Where are the sabers and all this other shit. And she sees her father unfortunately get captured by these guys. And go ahead.
Does he have like force powers or anything?
He does. I don't think he's force sensitive.
Yeah.
His daughter's a little force sensitive, and he's actually made the sabers as mood rings. And so, depending on
Yeah,
your
I
alignment
skipped
to
over
the
that.
force, when you turn it on, you're a good guy. It's gonna be blue or green, and hers is gray. And so
Hers is crazy because there's
like
a lack
long-
of color.
Yeah.
is what I don't know if they just didn't know how to draw the lack of color because you can't really, or if hers really is this kind of greenish black gray almost.
Yeah. So
color.
her alignment isn't quite set
Well,
yet.
no, my question was because like whenever they shoot at him, he like stops it and it bounces into the
Oh yeah,
furnace.
he's got a little bit, Joe. Just like,
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, wait, he just bounced into the furnace and then
forgot
it
what
exploded.
happened. Yeah.
This is like, wait, can he do that?
a little bit.
Yeah, a
This
little
is-
bit.
I don't know.
Because you see how much force his daughter has. She's a natural with a lightsaber. When she first comes in, she gets to try, one of them, and she's like, it's the first ever colorless saber that can extend or retract at the I'm going through puberty again. At the I don't know, based upon the user or whatever. So I was like, okay, that'll be interesting. Bigger. My saber is big. I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Yeah. And so she's able to fend off the bad guys and make it up to space, and shit is going down up
Yeah.
into space.
Yeah, it turns out that, and the two stories kind of converge here because you're like, what is this in the past? So she actually shows up as the robot's like, well, soon the other sabers will show up because they're not really sure this is real. And he's like, you need proof? And the robot brings out a lightsaber, and it's like a cool ass one. And one guy lights it, and it's blue, and they're like, okay, so this is legit. And he's like, where are the others? And somebody says, and he's, oh, well, they're coming. So then the lightsabers show up. But when they get there, fucking sweet ass reveal that the Jedi that were called there are actually Sith.
They killed all the Jedi.
They've
There's
killed.
a double ruse.
They have all red sabers, except for one. One of the people there.
The dopey kid, yeah.
Yeah. And wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. We'll get to that in a minute. But so then. It's revealed that the robot inside the robot is Margrave. He was there I was here the whole time. And
It was a test.
It was a
You
test.
failed.
You failed, and then he's got a green saber with a cool little, bezel too, and they start fighting.
Cool fight scene.
And cool fight
He
scene.
murders the fuck out of most of these people.
Oh yeah, it was
You
awesome.
see
He,
the-
like right away, cut somebody in half.
I was so happy that seeing this because it's like,
Yeah.
look, you can show this to your kids, and it's not gory,
Yeah,
it's not
but
overly
you see,
violent, but it's also
slide
not
off.
round and
You
soft
know.
and sanitized like that horse shit they were doing in Bad Batch. It's
You
like
know what's happening.
The little kids can see this, and it's fine.
So they're fighting, and the daughter of the Sabersmith starts to fight, and she's pretty good. She's a natural. During her fight, her saber actually changes color and turns to green, I believe.
yeah.
And so kind of her alignment is now set. You've got one of the guys who's blue. He's not very good at saber fighting, and he's like not really holding his own. But luckily Margrave, and I think her name is Kara, are just kicking ass and taking names. So they thin out these Sith, and then one of the Sith, all of a sudden his lightsaber is purple. One of them had a purple lightsaber. But maybe I wasn't paying attention when they did this. All the red
His was
lightsabers
red.
around.
His was red.
His was red, and then
'Cause he
it
had to
turned
change.
purple.
His
Yeah.
alignment changed. So he said,
big-
I'm
yeah.
sorry. Their evil made me evil, and he
This
was.
isn't me.
That's not how it works in the
Nuh-uh.
Star Wars canon. Okay, well, this one confuses me, but I guess, they're given artistic license.
Yeah.
They don't really have to. But at the same time, Disney has to approve this, and I'm sure, there's stories, lore protectors that go through and say, yes, that's okay. So anyway, in this particular world, that goes down. And you can tell it's the far, far future because then a ship comes, and I believe it is a good ship or a Republic ship, but it just looks like an advanced design. And Margrave says, "Okay, I want you to be the Ninth Jedi, and together we're going to create and destroy the Sith and create the Jedi Order again." But what do you mean, Ninth Jedi?
He's number one. He summoned 7 of them,
So it's the girl.
and then she would be the
Okay,
9th one.
Gotcha. So no, well there was 7 in the
8.
shot.
Yeah, and then
9.
he's
and then 8, and then she's 9.
yeah, she's 9. Yeah.
But 7 of them are dead.
The way that he sounds like
6 of them are dead because the one guy he's not a Sith. He's he got the blue saber, and then another one. So actually, it's 5 of them are dead.
Yeah, but those ones were all Sith.
Because you've got a purple lightsaber guy, blue lightsaber guy. She's got a green saber. Margrave's got a green saber. So it wasn't that she's the 9th Jedi and there's 9 Jedi on the ship. It was that some of these people were supposed to be Jedis, but they were killed.
Didn't they
That's
say
always-
that the
But they
Sith
said
people?
we were always acolytes, and we're here to take you out.
I thought that it said that the Sith people stole the message.
Yes.
Or replaced the Jedi. So they either killed the original Jedi or replaced them.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, in any case, she's the 9th Jedi in order, whether alive or dead. And they form a new Jedi Order, get on the ship, and fly away. And then there's actually a pretty cool shot when the thing flips around. The asteroid that they were on kind of looks like a fucking lightsaber. It was awesome. Great music in this one. Really liked this one, too. What's the final verdict for you guys?
10. I really like this one. This one was pretty intense. I did like the suspense. It's like, are these Jedi gonna get killed? Because there's a pretty creepy message from this guy they don't know, robot with red eyes.
Yup.
And then, what's her name again? I keep
Kara?
forgetting. Kara. Kara sees her dad like getting hurt, and now they took him away, and she's got vengeance in her heart. She's like, I need to go find my dad because we don't know where he is now. And the fight scene was amazing, and I actually saw limbs and arms and bodies, torsos
Yeah.
being shredded, and that's what happens when you get hit by a lightsaber.
Yeah.
So 10 for me.
Yeah, I was at like a 9 with the story. I wish, I mean, they have like mood lightsabers. Like, you should probably just toss that around to everyone in the room and you can kind of sneak it away. And so, like, I think that there were some uneven parts, but the fight scene was an 11. So I think it averages out to probably like 10.
But in the battle, did they ever extend and do their lightsabers?
That was a real, like, a
and
short
all?
thing that never ever came up. And, like, I
Yeah.
wish that, I mean, what are they going to do? They hold it down and just go,
Check this out.
It's like, you're making everybody uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It's like, yeah, so that's my point. That's my fighting style. It's very uncomfortable. But anyways,
They also knew like not to touch the lightsaber, right? Because like, yeah, here's a lightsaber. No, everyone kind of like backed away.
They
know
did
about
it-
the
Like, nobody-
legend of the
nobody-
They
lightsaber.
didn't know about the mood ring part at all. Or
Because I was surprised nobody else grabbed it. I
Yeah.
thought like he was gonna toss it around. It's like, oh yeah, check it out.
if you know that some are traders, you're like, and you're the main guy. You're just like, here, you hold this. Oh, that's an interesting color.
Oh, you know what?
Interesting.
And as far as canon, where I said it doesn't work like that. No, there wasn't, because the guy said specifically these particular sabers
he
that
makes-
I created will reflect the color of the. Okay, I got it. I got it.
Yeah.
Still great.
Yes,
I
still
would be
good.
pissed if I was Samuel L. Jackson.
Right, that's what I wrote down here. I was like, so now we have 2 purple lightsabers. Sam was like, I want the purple light. I don't know if he said, I want the only purple lightsaber in the entire universe, or I just want a purple lightsaber.
Probably I just want a purple.
But you know what? At thousands and thousands and thousands of years in the future, you're allowed a purple lightsaber. In fact, we can even create a little backstory. The cult of Samuel L. Jackson pops up, and a few purple light, and the ways of the purple lightsaber were handed down over generations.
And so, like a turncoat giant space chicken gets to pass it on.
Yes, because that makes sense, because a lot of people believe that, his Force style is very close to the dark side. That's why it's kind of purple and it's got a different color. And he's like real, but he's also good. It's that firm good and that strict good. Anyway, so yeah, I really, really like this one. I said 9 or a 10. Originally, I put 9. I'll stick with 9. I fucking love this. Star Wars Vision is exactly the way I wanted it to be. We'll cut it off here because the video is getting pretty long and we want to go through 4 more, giving it, oh my God, it's already an hour. Well, shit, I hope you're still here. Hope you're still watching. We just like going through it scene by scene, and hopefully you enjoy that. So, yeah, let us know which one of these was your favorite. Rate them out individually, episode 1 through 5. And I got to say, so far, The season for me is like mid-season. If I were to give a review, is like a 9 out of 10, and I think this has the potential to get to 9, 10. Let's see what happens in the next 4 episodes. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. We shall see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye guys.